All right, here we are, fifth crit of the season for me. This is back at Dominguez Hills, although we're at a different location, like across the other side of the street. So brand new course for everybody, but this ended up being a pretty like standard four corner crit, and I don't know, I like this course. So I don't know. This is a
Let's just see whether you can finish without crashing.
yeah, that was really the main goal today. I was like, I don't know, I kind of felt confident going in today. I was like, I really want to do better because the last time I did 4 or 5 at Dominguez Hills, I like didn't even finish with the pack. Definitely got drops. So I got to do good today. And
It's
shoulder
weird
was,
that they went back to like a normal layout.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I wonder what the deal was with that.
I wasn't upset about that. I like these races better than like the whole like super 9 corner technical crit thing. So, but yeah, so I was like, I was still kind of like, for my crash last weekend, shoulder was still a little off. So I was like, I can't go down this week. I actually, I don't know if I told you this, Ben, but I actually bought that little like add-on insurance thing when you're ready. Dude, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it. The way this race played out, I don't regret it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was only like $5. So I was like, dude, if I go down again on my shoulder, I'm pretty sure it's breaking this time. So, yeah, no regrets. I was gonna say
I
this is
think
like a
you get
little,
like a yearly subscription. You'll save some money.
yeah,
That's
yeah, true. I was gonna say that was a little uphill straightaway there, and a little 2%, I think. And really, like this is the whole course, super short laps. Um, yeah, I mean that was what about like 2 minutes a lap, and that was one of our slower laps because it was the first one. Uh, Super cool. I actually really like this lap or this course, and already getting pretty strung out here at the start. Um, I'm just trying to carry my speed through corners really, and not let gaps open up. As I let a gap open up here a little bit, but
I was gonna say you could get a little bit closer, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're a little antsy after that crash.
yeah, I didn't like how I hit this corner. I took that way too wide. I thought maybe I could carry my speed a little bit more, but then I found myself kind of slotted out from the draft. So
You're going pretty quickly.
yeah, I'm trying to work my way over behind Bianchi bike guy. So,
Good news here is now you've got a wheel.
yeah, true. And these corners, I don't know. Those cones, I ended up taking, that was maybe like, I rarely took that corner on the outside. I was usually always on the inside because people were really going wide on that and going near those cones. And that would play a role later in this race for sure.
Oh my God.
But
I
yeah,
haven't seen. I don't really know what to expect other than some kind of chaos.
yeah, more last lap chaos, right? Um, but yeah, so back going on, and I followed this guy in the white, his wheel quite a bit in this race. I wish I would have followed it more toward the end because he ended up doing pretty decent. But yeah, he was a good rider, and I was just behind him a lot. I know sometimes like there's
These
just those
people aren't
guys.
directly behind these wheels, man. Why are you moving up?
I think I was
What are
just
you
carrying.
thinking?
I don't know why I moved up there, but I think I was just carrying my speed. I don't know.
You feel strong today?
Yeah, I did feel pretty strong going in this one. Not strong enough though to do good, but like for the most part, I felt pretty decent. I was trying to stay up more toward the front, but so I mean I'm pretty close to the front at this point. There was some attacks going on, but not
Honestly,
too
we
bad.
should probably just like talk about this from the end. Towards the end of the race, did you feel like you ran out of energy?
Yeah, definitely. Like 2 laps to go, I definitely just didn't have it. I wish I had this energy that I had right now with 2 laps to go. Um,
So let's keep that in mind as we watch, because like you look pretty good. But you are letting some gaps open up. You are spending a bit of time out in the wind. Um, these aren't really things that you think about when you're in the moment and you have legs and you have the fitness towards the beginning, but this is energy that you aren't getting back.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I was like, I was letting the gaps open up going into the corners because it just felt like certain corners got really punched up. But yeah, I
I
don't
like your cornering strategy, and like right now, how you're racing is fine.
know.
With like the last couple of laps, it's like this kind of like offset, like what you're doing right here. Are you thinking about moving up, and that's why you're taking wind, or like
Yeah, I
what's your
think on that one I
strategy?
was
Is there
like,
a strategy?
that dude passed me on the right, and I was like, oh, let me get on his wheel, and then I was like, never mind. But yeah, so I don't know.
Ah, look at that junior! Oh my God,
Yeah, I know
behind
that
it.
dude's out there, bro. He did pretty good.
Man, should juniors be racing with full-grown men? Like, think of like some like 200-pound, like 40-year-old dentist lands on that kid. He's done. 12 years old is like too early to be crippled for life.
I think he was like 14, but not. I mean, he was fast enough to be there, but I agree it was pretty crazy. He was there last week too, I think, but yeah, pretty wild. He was doing his thing.
What sort of patterns do you think you have in your riding so far in the video?
Uh, I don't know. What are you saying, man?
I'm seeing that you're offsetting and then you aren't committing to a wheel. So it kind of seems that you're holding on to momentum, which is cool, but it seems that you're putting out a lot of effort for that momentum. And it's not resulting in you gaining any positions, just losing energy. That's how I see it. What do you think?
It felt like that quite a bit too. I was
I
having
know it's
I was going offset a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It
This
just
gives
felt
me a lot
natural.
of vibes from like our first race and my footage from that. Like I felt really strong throughout, and I was just running it like a group ride. Like, oh, I'm just keeping up with these guys, or I'm passing them, challenging a little bit. But I wasn't getting that close.
Yeah, that was a bad line for me on that one. That closed out quick.
Yeah, I made it through.
Yeah, that corner
Yeah,
was
that's
definitely the sketchiest.
but that's the thing though, because like as we're watching this, like even this right here, what's your end game in that move?
I don't know, dude. I literally think I just felt strong there, and I was like, I'm passing these dudes. But this got me like pretty far up, like at this point. Like this is what maybe a top 10 right here. So like I don't know, there's no need to
Yeah,
be up this
this is the
far.
top 10. Yeah.
See, but I do the offset thing again right there. I don't know why. I think honestly, I think I just didn't want my vision blocked today. Maybe I was a little bit freaked out from last week, but
And that, to be honest, that's pretty fair.
mhm.
I've never fallen in a crit, so I can't like postulate on how that would make you feel a race after. You you aren't as you're sheltering yourself more than you were 2 races back,
Mhm.
and that was pre-crash. Um, but I would say when it comes to like form and handling, this is a step back from the last race. Like we could be saving more energy here. We could be
Yeah,
setting ourselves up for more success at the end.
I know. Last race though, it all the drafting did bite me in the butt. But
On the last lap, it
yeah,
worked perfectly fine up to that point.
that's true. Well,
it was it was going so well up until the point that I got wrecked.
yeah, that's true. Well, to be honest though, like looking back on this race, I agree. I was offset a lot. And I think that was like my like me thinking like, oh, I have an escape route now if something happens. But I don't know. I do agree with taking like this inside. Like I really like for most of the race. Like I don't know why I'm out offset right there. Like, there's no need to. If anything, you want to be a little bit more in to set up for the corner. But yeah, I don't know. That was a mental thing I was going through today, and that's why I like videoing them because like in the moment you don't really think that you're like that. But
Yeah, it's not as apparent when you're riding the race. It's
mhm.
more like, oh, this is how things are happening, and this is where my bike is going to be placed today. it's something that kind of comes across as more auto than chosen when you're actually racing. But it
Yeah.
is very obvious when you look back at it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Especially now.
Yeah, this one it was single file and I was just out of.
Yeah, you're out of position,
But
which is okay. That happens.
mhm.
Mario's over there. I don't know what Mario's doing.
There was a bunch of preems today, so I think he
Ah,
went
there are a lot
home.
of preem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, if you're a strong rider, like a short course like this would be perfect for getting
Totally.
a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it again right there. Well, and I kind of stay a little bit more on this guy's.
There's a thing at work here too, which is you want to protect your space and you want to communicate to other people that there's this box, there's this distance. It's kind of like a coronavirus kind of tactic, like
Hmm.
not go within my space. And when you're constantly moving out of your line, oh, that was
Yeah, yeah. So I got called out on that one. Apparently, I didn't hold my line. You
there's
can be
nothing
the
you could have done there.
you can be the judge. Yeah.
No, there's nothing you could have done there. But it's tight. You're gonna get yelled at if you race. Anyway, you aren't really communicating like a lot of strength within your position. You're constantly moving out. If I were racing next to you, I would just think, oh, I could take this guy's space. If I got into his space, he would give me a win. Which isn't really going to hurt you as much in a lower category, but as you continue to race, people will exploit that. Yeah, like what are we doing here? Because it doesn't really matter coming into the corner, but you want to set yourself up so you aren't in the wind right here, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely fell back there a little bit, but
Oh yeah, of course. You're eating more wind than the majority of people on track.
yeah, the uphill part was kind of weird. Sometimes, like a lot of people are on the inside, a lot of times other people are on the outside. I don't know.
What would you do differently if you go back in time?
Probably try to draft a little bit better. Obviously, like not do this off.
But what does drafting better mean? Like what specifically would you
Like,
be doing different?
like actually holding a wheel, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree, just being more confident in your placement.
This is going to be your homework for the next race. And I know there's going to be like a little bit of a gap before you race again, but this is going to be the one thing that you should be doing for the next race, which is none of this. No more. We're past this. This is your fifth race. You know the rules of the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't think this is like egregiously bad, but I mean, like it could
It's
be.
egregiously bad.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, watching it, it's not egregiously bad when you're racing it, but I mean, we've got the evidence in front of us. What's your conclusion?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is true. Alright, we just made a little cut. Skipping to, I believe this is 5 to go. Like I said, this course was just like I was just doing the same mistakes, not slotting in, etc. And this course was just so short and fast. I guess the same thing. So
So here
skipping
we
to 5 to
go.
go.
Yeah, we're gonna see the effects of that.
Mhm.
It's not really apparent. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Every time you put out a little more energy than you have to, there is a cost to pay, and we're about to see what that bill is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I was definitely feeling fatigued at this part. I feel like everybody does. Like, I mean, it's not like these are the easiest things to do.
No, not which also doubles down on why it's so important to conserve energy, because really it's a war of attrition, and we're at about 9.5 miles. This race is going to end just a hair over 12 miles. It's 12.1 miles.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's not like you're the only one who's feeling tired. But again, that just doubles down on the fact that, how much energy can we conserve? Did we have to get out of the saddle there? Maybe at this point.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta close this gap because I could see that I was getting bunched up again, so like another attack's gonna happen. I was like, and I didn't really even close it that well, to be honest. But
And let's also talk about this guy on like the orangish yellowish bike ahead of
mhm.
you. Like, you could have just held his wheel the whole race.
No, and yeah,
He's
that
right
was
there.
yeah, and like I said, like not to spoil things, but I ended up getting like 31st. I think he ended up getting like 16th or 17th, and that was just because he ran a smarter race. Like we ran a pretty similar race most of the way, but with like 2 to go, which I'll point it out later. Like, he had the energy, which he's not
Yeah.
really drafting right now, but like he usually was doing a good job of drafting.
But the point is, even if you followed his move, you could have still had a wheel, which
Yeah,
is one thing you don't have right now. What was that guy
yeah,
doing?
there was a lapped rider right there. Um, Probably shouldn't take the inside line if you're going like 12 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But we
So
made it out.
I can kind of tell that you're pretty tired right now. Not based on the speed you're
Mhm.
keeping up, just like you're getting lazier,
Yes.
slower in how you're reacting. You're
Hmm.
beating the wind. You seem dazed, disoriented. How are you feeling at this point?
No, that really is like, you're like, well, you don't draft right even when you're not tired, but when I get even more tired, I draft even
It
worse.
gets worse. Yeah, it gets worse.
But yeah, I'm just like slow on everything. But I was trying to save my energy for this climb because I felt like if I was going to get dropped anywhere, it was going to be on this climb.
Yeah,
And I
you're
knew the
right about
pace,
that.
like people love to attack on climbs. So like I knew like this is where the pace was going to rise. So
And you can see some of these guys over here really struggling to keep up too. So you're in company here when it comes to fatigue. But just
I,
going back to what you said about drafting and like your drafting technique, more than fitness, more than anything else, it's that. That's what you need to work on. That's what you need to tackle. But there's another big reason why this should be your number one priority from the very beginning, which is at this point, you're so tired, it's kind of hard to think
mhm.
rationally. If you start patterning your behavior early in the race, like, oh, I'm going to hold this wheel, I'm going to get as close as I can, I'm going to conserve as much energy behind this other rider as I can. When you're tired and unable to think, you can just continue to repeat the strategy that you started early in the race.
Yeah.
This is just a worse version of the first few laps of the race, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And entering this lap, like I saw that I was falling back. Like there was a pretty good gap between me and the main
Yeah.
pack, and
Yeah.
like previous me would probably like start to give up at that point, but I did kind of put my head down and kind of like close it. So like I'm, like all things considered, I'm still in decent position here.
Yeah.
Like it's not horrible. You can see the front is right there.
Yeah.
Um, but you can see
And
like these gaps just open up, and like I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
really don't have a wheel.
but you are moving forward. You aren't giving up like you did 2 races ago.
Hmm.
And your mental toughness is probably continue to go up the more of these that you do. If you're gonna be dumb, well, you gotta be tough.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think this may be 2 to go, or is this last lap? I don't know for sure.
Right. Man, so how infuriating must this have been, bro, to just get served up by a 14-year-old?
Dude, I passed him, bro. I'm bragging. I
You
don't know
passed
why.
him at the edge? Did you
Yeah.
beat him?
Well, I think this is last lap right here. So like the white guy made the move, and I was like, dude, put your head down and go fast. Like try to do something. And so like I kind of kicked up the pace here. Like we're going a little
Okay,
bit above
okay. Yeah,
30,
cool. There you
and
go.
I was like, get on the back of the pack, because I could see like where the front of the pack was, and I was like, dude, you gotta get there. And this is like the moment where I was like, I thought that maybe I had enough in me to get up there, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have a good like. I'm like I'm just kind of doing it by myself at this point. That's what I was saying. Like the guy in the white, like he made a move at the start of this lap that got him up there, and you can see I'm just so separated here. But I was like,
Right there.
carry your speed through this corner, and this is where the big crash happened, and those
Oh,
guys are
shit.
on the ground,
Oh,
and I just kind of sent it there.
nice. Yeah, move it. Move it up.
but at this point, like my legs were toast. Like we got one more corner. I was like just talking to this guy because I figured there's like nobody behind us, you know.
This is it right here. Is this final?
Um,
All
and
right,
that
go.
kind of was the
Run
case.
good.
Like I was kind of like at the back of like the lead pack at this point, if you even want to call it that. And then like all
Yeah.
the other riders kind of got caught up in the crash.
This is the final sprint.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is it. This is the
Yeah, this is it.
so yeah. I kind of look back and I'm like, oh, nobody's there. And yeah, my legs were toast. I'm not gonna lie.
Not that
So
it would have changed your positioning,
mhm.
but you should have a little more
Nice job,
spatial
man.
awareness of like where the other riders are around you, so you can get a lead out on that final sprint.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The last lap just got away from me. Like they
No,
picked
it's
up the
fine.
pace, and I just wasn't there. I just
That,
wasn't there.
but I think you reacted really well to that wreck, just capitalizing on the confusion that happened, because there was just no hesitation when that
Yeah,
happened. No hesitation at all. You reacted and you passed a few people as a result of that. You definitely improved on what your standing would have been.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it was like I was kind of some moments you're like, oh, I need to slam on the brakes, and other moments you're like, you got to pedal your way through. And that was one of those where I was like, carry your speed and just make an evasive maneuver kind of deal. It was a fun race. I'm just glad I made it out alive. Honestly, it didn't crash, and I think there were
Yeah,
some
me
like
too.
I think there were some like fairly serious injuries. I don't know for sure, um, but like they seem to be like holding their necks or stabilizing their neck. Like when I did like my last lap after the race ended. So yeah, I hope they're okay.
Jeez.
It's not fun
Yeah.
like when crashes happen, but
No,
yeah,
not at
that's
all.
that. So